They did not produce any actual proof of any fraud in Arizona. They did not even produce today any credible claims of fraud in Arizona.
The Fox News Decision Desk is calling Arizona for Joe Biden. That is a big get for the Biden campaign. The review of more than 2 million votes in Maricopa County, Arizona, confirms that President Biden's win in the county and the state was in fact a win. The tally in the document showed a net gain of 360 votes for Joe Biden over the official results.
We have losers. We have losers. He's a loser.
Losers. He suffers from a thing called loser's remorse.
Le who? The her.
Former President Trump had proclaimed that the Arizona audit would turn up the real evidence, the real proof that he actually won all these states. And Arizona, with this audit, they'd be first. And then all the other states where it looked like he lost, they'd all end up fessing up too after Arizona collapsed. And all the states would end up admitting he really won. Watch, Arizona will go first. After their 5 months of trying and searching for secret bamboo fibers and using UV lights and putting the ballots on lazy Susans and spinning them around and hiring the weirdest clown car imaginable of conspiracy theorists and QAnon promoters and crackpots to slice, dice, and julienne the ballots and the voting machines from the great state of Arizona, the end result of their 5 months long audit is that their count showed that Joe Biden's margin of victory in the state increased by about 360 votes. But despite the big score here for the Arizona audit, the point of the so-called audit, the point of this whole turn in Republican politics, in fact, is not necessarily to concretely overturn the election results and reinstall Donald Trump as president, 10 months after the election is over. I don't know if that still is their day-to-day concrete goal. I'm sure it is for some of them. Now that Mike Lindell, the pillow guy, is now saying that Trump will be reinstated as president by Thanksgiving. Okay. All right, maybe some of them still think that. I think more presently, the goal is to unmoor election results from the fact-based world for Republicans and right-leaning Americans. And how do you measure success at that? Well, look at what they're trying to achieve. Look at what they're actually doing in their work. I mean, today in Arizona, despite concluding on their own terms that by their count, Trump lost Arizona even worse than the certified results say he did. Nevertheless, the Republican audit folks today spent hours today, very excitedly. They spent more than 3 hours excitedly showing PowerPoint slides and giving long, confusing presentations, all aimed at casting aspersions on the election process in Arizona. They did not produce any actual proof of any fraud in Arizona. They did not even produce today any credible claims of fraud in Arizona. But they did give hours of ominous-sounding, confusing testimony about things they didn't understand about the election process that thereby seemed suspicious to them. And they were fact-checked and rebutted in real time by officials in the county that actually carried out this election that's been dragged through the mud for all these months. All day long, the Maricopa County government had to post real-time rebuttals and fact-checks. In response to all this, we don't understand this. This seems ominous claims from the audit people giving their presentation today. The county government was posting things like this. You were talking about this server named REWEB1601. As you might gather from the naming convention, yes, that server connects to the internet. You all were claiming that's a terribly ominous thing about this server. Why does it connect to the internet? Because that is the server for the website of the Maricopa County Recorder's Office. This is not the election system, they explain. Quote, we shouldn't have to explain this. Former President Trump released a statement demanding that Texas must immediately open a forensic audit of its results, too. He said it must be done, quote, this week. Let's get to the bottom of the 2020 presidential election scam. Why do you want Texas audited? You won Texas. You think you didn't really win Texas? You want that double checked? You sure? Did you see what happened today in Arizona?
Le who? The her.
They did not produce any actual proof of any fraud in Arizona. They did not even produce today any credible claims of fraud in Arizona.